I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a PayPal request from Vontae McCrae, who wanted my thoughts on Animaniacs Wakko's Wish from 1999. Now, first off, thank you for the PayPal request. If anyone's ever interested in sending requests via PayPal for pretty much any type of video or review, commentary, what have you, the link to my PayPal will be down in the info box. Or if you're interested in joining my Patreon, which there's certain tiers for certain things, the link to that is down below as well. But I did not grow up with Animaniacs, so I will admit a lot of this kind of went over my head, where, for what I understand, a lot of the characters in this were in the show. I mean, I got the gist of it, so I wasn't confused, but I have to think if you're a bigger fan. And when I say I'm not into Animaniacs, it's not because I dislike the show. I just haven't seen much of the show. I've seen bits and pieces, so I knew of them, but I never really watched the show much growing up. But like I said, I do get the gist of it. And I will say, not a bad movie. You know, not a bad film. You know, there are some jokes that were fairly clever. And it's definitely I would say a musical, because there's a lot of songs in this. And there's definite bits of cuteness involved. Movie references. I mean, one of the first jokes is our three characters using Rosebud the sled for the fire. And our three characters are Yakko, Wakko, and Dot. And it does a setup where the land they live in is Warner Stock is the land. I guess this is a take on Time Warner or whoever getting into it and then things changing. But in this, it's a war over the kingdom, and the characters are now poor and they gotta deal with taxes. Take over by TikTokia. I'm like, oh shit, not TikTok. But this is before TikTok. And there's some clever jokes that I was surprised by. Like, they have a song, and was it a squirrel? Pretty much and during the song, someone goes, "Even my nuts are frozen." And then someone goes, "Be careful with that last verse." I'm like, wow, I did not expect jokes like that. Was that a typical type of humor on the show? Where maybe they could see what they could pass by with the censors. But the gist of the story is Dot, the female of the three, whatchamacallit. I mean, what are the Animaniacs? Are they actual animal? Are they dog? Like, what is there a certain species they are, or just they're its? I mean, I don't know. But she needs an operation. Wakko gets on a train, comes back, gets a half penny, which is the joke, is that it's not a penny, it's a half a penny, and everyone celebrates. And I think what made the film work, number one, is a very short film. Number two, the songs, they have a catchy, well, catchy is the wrong word. It's not like I went to listen to them after the movie. But they had cheery vibe. That's the word I'm looking for. They had a cheery vibe to it, and definitely plentiful amount. I know one of the three voice actors of the Animaniacs is Rob Paulsen. This is the guy that voiced Raphael in the 90s Ninja Turtles cartoon, and then voiced Donatello in the 2012 Turtles cartoon. And he's voiced a lot of other characters as well. But pretty much, they think everything's going to be okay, but then the bad guys, oh, that's for taxes, they take it over. So now everyone's depressed again. And then one of them wishes for, hence the title, Wakko wishes. A star falls down, and whoever gets there first will get a wish. But the Animaniacs are stupid, so they fucking tell everybody. So then everybody's like, oh my god, a wish? And then they try to do it's a mad world, kind of. But it's pretty much a rap race. It's pretty much most of the film is them trying to get from point A to point B to get to this wishing star. And the voice cast did their jobs well. Ben Stein, who I remember from stuff, he was the boring teacher in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where he's like, Bueller. He was also on this game show, I remember, Win Ben Stein's Money, which was on Comedy Central way back in the day, with Jimmy... Not Jimmy Fallon. It was the other Jimmy. I forgot what the hell his name was. Because I didn't watch it for him. I watched it for Ben Stein. And I forgot. He had... The other guy, Jimmy, has a talk show too. And shows how much I watch his shit. But you have a bunch of other characters. You have like the ma and son squirrel. You have this dog, and then this little girl who keeps calling her mom lady. Call me mom. Okay, lady. Which, is her mom supposed to be Snow White? Because she mentioned something about going to see some dwarves. Again, I think if you're a big fan of the show, you're going to get a lot of this more than me. You have these three birds who are literally good fellas. Like, one's a Joe Pesci, one's a Robert De Niro, and one's a Ray Liotta. Pinky and the Brain, I do remember that. I do remember Pinky and the Brain. What are we going to do tonight, Brain? The same we do every night, Pinky. Take over the world. I do remember that from seeing that back in the day. But then part of me's like, you stupid fucking Animaniacs, you stupid pricks. Why the fuck did you tell everybody? You could have gone on your own, but you had to blather your mouth. Now everybody, including the bad guys, going for this, you stupid three little pricks. But I mean, it's a cartoon. And I did not know this film would be as many songs, as much of a musical as it turned out to be. Because almost every character sings about what they'll do or how they'll be happy when they get to the wishing star. One thing leads to another, they get caught. The bad guy is trying to torture the Animaniacs, but in silly ways. From Mr. Director's Terrible Singing, which is pretty much a parody of Jerry Lewis singing, to You're entering a filthy gas station restroom, or Baloney the Dinosaur, of course, parody of Barney the Dinosaur. And what I was going to say, I appreciate its fast pacing. The animation was not bad. The voice actors did their jobs well. The jokes at times were a bit surprising. Like the teen wishes for $2 million, and then deer come in. And one of them goes, just be glad it's not mating season. And then a buck winks at the teen. I'm like, okay. Kids, daddy, mommy, what's mating season? It's called fucking. No, I mean, but, so I was a bit surprised in a good way to see, again, I'm guessing this is a typical thing with Animaniacs. Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an expert on the show, because I'm not. But overall, it was a fun time. Surprisingly, it seemed at times a little bit more serious than I thought because of people being depressed, and even some of the other Animaniacs being depressed that Dot needs an operation. Granted, they don't say what it is. At one point, you think one of them dies. So, yeah, I was a bit surprised by that. Which maybe that's why it gets sort of a higher mark on IMDb. Which I can understand, but they don't go too overboard so it's not a completely different movie. It's still a very silly kids show, but it doesn't treat the audience complete stupidity or utter morons. So I did appreciate that. I mean, do I have not really issues? Again, I do think that if I knew more of the show and all the other characters, I probably would have gotten more out of this than other people who were big fans of the show. But for a direct-to-video film, I mean, better than shit like Pocahontas 2, which I reviewed on here, or other stuff of that nature. So I think at one point the studio wanted this. I think Steven Spielberg, who had a hand in producing the show, he wanted this to go theatrical, but then the studio said no. I don't see this as a theatrical movie, to be fair, but as a direct-to-video film, it fits. Because I wouldn't say it's not supposed to have substance, but the plot, it does feel like I guess I would assume, a longer episode. Like, I don't know. Does this feel like a movie to people who are fans of the show? That'd be a question for people who, again, much more knowledgeable about it than me. But overall, I did not mind it for what it is, and it's pretty straightforward, so I'm not sure what else I could say. But thank you once again, Vontae McRae. Thank you to everyone who watched. Hope you guys have a good night. Stay safe out there. Take care. And we will see you guys in the next video. Later. Bye-bye.